Hi, I'm Paul Davis from Hikeline, and I'm going to talk to you now about the Montane Resolute Smock. Now, the Resolute Smock is effectively a GT version of the Montane Extreme, which has been with Montane for quite a few years. And rather than go through the precise features of this jacket, I'm going to assume that you're probably interested in the Extreme anyway, and also looked at our video on that jacket. So what I'm going to focus on here is what makes this different from the Extreme, and why you might want to take a Resolute instead.
Now, the biggest differences of the Resolute compared to the Extreme are in terms of materials. So the main fabric that's used here now is Epic, whereas on the Smock we're talking about Pertex 6. So what are the differences about Epic? Well, it's a more breathable fabric, it's a tougher fabric, also it's a fabric that doesn't rely on a DWR outer in order to make the water bead on it. So whereas with the Extreme, after a time you'd have to treat it to recover the DWR, Epic's not a material where that's an issue. So we're talking about, more than anything else, durability. And that particularly applies here, where the panels under the arms on the Resolute are using Cordura, which is a much tougher material than the fabric that's been used on the Extreme. Now, the overall design of the two jackets is identical, but where there is a difference is in the zips, because the zips on the Resolute use these water-resistant zips, whereas the Extreme uses conventional zips with an overlapping flap. The cuff adjusters have also been changed slightly. Here's an Extreme, where we're talking simply about a piece of cloth with some Velcro behind it, whereas if you look at the Resolute, then you'll notice there's a useful rigid rubber tab on the end. It makes it much easier to adjust this, particularly in a cold environment where you're probably wearing gloves, and it's much easier to get hold of this. Now, the final difference is the hood. Here's an Extreme, and the hood on the Extreme is Velcro attachable, so you can remove it and then have a jacket without a hood. But I know from how many people who contact us trying to get a replacement that an awful lot of people lose the hood on the Extreme. So with the Resolute, it's permanently attached. There's no question about losing the hood here. So when looking at the two jackets, I think the first thing I have to say is the Extreme, let's be honest, is extremely, astonishingly good value for money. In my opinion, there's not much to compare for it actually at the money. But having said that, for a really serious user, then the Resolute sticks out as being a much more attractive jacket, more durable and better suited to something like serious expedition use. So it really comes down to what you're willing to spend and how important having the best jacket is.